Hello, 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 everyone. It's Cassandra Williamson coming to you from Mudlick. Yeah, that's the name of this place where I'm located right now. So it's been a long day. I spent about 4 hours on the road, two there, two back to the Huntington VA in Huntington, West Virginia. It's the Herschel Woody Williams VA medical facility. Okay, it's named for Medal of Honor recipient Herschel Woody Williams. And so, yeah, it's been a long day. I left from here before 8 o'clock this morning, 8 a.m. Eastern time, and headed and drove to Huntington. I had to stop along the way. They were working on a bridge down in Mingo County, West Virginia, on Highway 52 between East Kermit and Kermit, and sit there probably 15 minutes, 10 or 15 minutes, something like that. But, yeah, had to sit there and wait on that. Then barely made it by 10 o'clock, just a few minutes before, for my occupational therapy meeting with the VA, my therapist there. And we did a lot of stretching stuff. Use this thing, it just spins around and around and around, and you have to do it for about 10 minutes and see if you can make it a mile with the spinning, the rotation of that thing. It's just supposed to warm you up. Whew. I did it though. I got in 10 minutes, I got 1.1 miles in on that thing. And it's supposed to make my shoulder feel better, but it's still kind of aching. So, yeah, did all of that. Got some stretching exercises to do too. Let's see. You got to stretch out your shoulder and your muscles around the shoulder and right here in the rotator cuff area. And what he said was, don't go push through it, which is what I'm prone to do. Just reach that point of, it says no pain, no gain. Well, no, he actually told me, he said, look, when you get to the edge of pain, stop. And I'm like, but no, because it would just basically tear it even worse. So I've got these stretchy bands that I've got to do some different types of exercises with, try to get my shoulder back working correctly. It's going to be interesting. But I was able to do it there. I just have to make sure I do it in the form and format that he wants, because I don't want to exacerbate this problem to make it worse. It can get worse quickly. And hasn't healed since, and I had the surgery on it over a year ago. So here we are, having to go back and do some more work to it. Let me see which microphone are we using. Okay, we got the Snowball, this one. That Snowball we have right in front of us right now. So here we are. One of the things I wanted to talk about, though, was I saw one of my fellow Kentuckians, Lieutenant Colonel Amy McGrath, who was a fighter pilot, and she did a little clip over on Facebook, and it was about the Dakowitz committee that Pete Hegseth has terminated, calling it divisive and woke. I don't know where he gets that information from, but Dakowitz has been around since 1951. Yeah, 1951. But the only reason it's divisive and woke is because, Pete's upset by it. He's so offended by women. It just gets under his skin to have a woman doing anything in the military. They're trying to roll it all back. This is called, the Dakowitz thing is the Defense Advisory Committee on Women in the Services. It's formed in 1951. It's one of the longest serving committees within the Department of War today, Department of Defense, providing information to those who make decisions about, women recruitment, things that would help them live their lives better, help with, maternity leave and all those kind of things that actually makes life better for our women in the military. But he disbanded the thing. The website's still up. It's Dakowitz.defense.gov. I'll show you. So it's part of this record here. So I'm going to go over and share. Hold on a minute. We'll put it into the record on this in the recording so that you can see what I'm talking about. All right. So what you're looking at right now is the screen from that website. This is, like I said, I want to increase the size just so you can see a little bit better. Okay. I think. There we go. But anyway, up here at the top, you can see that it is dacowits.defense.gov. And you can go there, and it's got several things. And when I first went into this, it said the page wasn't accessible, but it's still in here right now. Or at least you can find it. I don't know if it's been archived or not, but I was able to get to it. So this is DACOWITS. This is Defense Advisory Committee on Women in the Services. And Pete is so upset with women in the services that he considers this to be woke and divisive. It's been around since 1951. Trying to make lives better for our women in the military. And this is what Amy McGrath was talking about today in her little social media post. Just how horrendous it is that Pete is so butthurt over women in the military. And he's willing to call an organization that's been around since 1951 divisive and woke. I'm baffled by that. It's just weak men say stuff like that. Weak men go shut down women. Doug Wilson is a weak man, the preacher that Hegseth follows, basically, completely. Wilson wants to just strip away the 19th Amendment, take women out of all the leadership positions, get them out of the military, don't let them serve in Congress, don't let them serve in any leadership position anywhere outside of the home. Jeez, folks, don't y'all know that already? Doesn't that offend you? Doesn't that kind of just piss you off that you got weak men who are so butthurt by a woman in a position of authority? So let me just go over here and About Us. I'm going to click on the About Us tab right here. About Us, established in 1951. It's one of the oldest War Department advisory committees. You see it right there. The committee was created following the passage of the 1948 Women's Armed Services Integration Act. Now look, if he's going after DACOWITS, you know what the next goal is? He's going to rescind Women's Armed Services Integration Act. He's going to seek the rescission of that. Count on it. It's coming. That's what he wants to do. He wants to rescind that act. He wants women out of the military, period. You think he was going after just trans people? No. No, if you are a woman in the military, you're serving in the military, he's going to go after that right there, the Women's Armed Services Integration Act of 1948, and any other provisions that have been added to that, any other policy changes or law changes that have been made to this act from 1948. He's going to do that, folks. He doesn't want women in the military. He wants them at home making babies. You have no business wearing those 4 stars on your sleeve right there on your collar, folks, and shoulder boards. Not according to him. You're only there to make babies and make sure the house is taken care of, and not to vote. Only the man should vote. He's the head of the household. Really, what Pete is just a weak-ass little green-headed baby. He's just immature. Really, he is. Truly, he is. That's all it is. And the faith that backs this thing up is wrong. It's wrong. It's designed by men to protect the power of men. There's nothing in it that is even remotely godly, no matter how you look at it. If you don't find ways to include all human beings who possibly can and who are qualified to do so into your organizations and things, then you are doing a disservice to all of humanity. But they don't believe any of that kind of thing. They think that what's written there is absolute gospel truth, and really what they need to be reading is the Gospel of Harvey Milk or the Gospel of, Marsha P. Johnson, and they're on my website. You can go find them. I've got them over there in the blog section. Go look at the blogs for these things. I got to get my cursor over this way. Oh, there it is. Get my website up there. Okay. You can go to www.cassandra-llc.com. Go check it out. Go read those Gospels of Harvey and Marcia. They got left out. As a matter of fact, for those of you who think that your particular words in your particular religious text are the absolute unequivocal word that hasn't changed forever, the immutable word. I don't know where you've been living, but I'm telling you that it's been edited and modified and books taken out and things added in and things done to it to make it look consistent over all these centuries. Different councils change things. Council of Nicaea, Council of Constantinople, different ones, different versions of translations. And you know what it is, and the first books weren't written until what, 30 to 120 years after the fact. I'm going to tell you, is anybody's memory that good that you remember everything that happened 30 years ago, 40 years ago? No. You're going to romanticize it. Your memories are not going to be exact. Memories, whether you know this or not, memories are created through the perspective of today. Your memories of your past are done through the window of the present. That's how they're shaped. Yeah, the only way to keep it all straight is if every moment was recorded. And it wasn't then for sure. Closer today. But anyway, so here we are up in the holler, and this has been another day in the life of a trans terrorist from way up in here. And I hope that Pam Bondi's got me on her recommended list of terrorists. I hope that Cash Patel has got something going on for me too. And if they do decide to come by, here, at least do the Southern charm thing when you come by. You can bring a peach cobbler, or you can bring an apple pie, or a nice little apple stack cake, or bring your potluck that you want. But you got to bring something. We don't drink wine around here, not because I haven't had it in the past. It's just I don't care for it anymore. I don't need it. I'm good. I'm good just as I am, and so is everyone in this house. We don't do it. There was a day when, yeah, but those days are gone. So, yeah, if you do decide to come by, though, you can bring a vase of flowers, or some trinket or something that represents who you are. But Pam and Cash and Dan Bongino, I mean, if you decide to come by and take a visit or whatever, you fly over in a Black Hawk or something like that, just drop in and make sure that you have with you something that my mom would appreciate. Like I said, an apple pie or a cherry pie. I made her a cherry pie the other day and she didn't need a bite of it. So maybe you bring something in, since you're going to put me on the top of your list as one of your little terrorist people you've got to watch. Yeah, that's exactly right. If you're going to do that, bring something by. And then if you don't bring something by, well, the greeting on the front door is going to say, "Bless your little heart." Sure enough, folks, sure enough. So that's been a lot of my day. I got up early this morning to make sure everybody was, got their medicines and shot and got all of their other things taken care of, and their drinks and breakfasts and everything. And then I was on the road before 8 a.m., a 2-hour drive down to Huntington, or up to Huntington. It's north of here, up to Huntington to the VA, and then sit there for a couple of hours from 10 until at least noon-ish. And then went and had, after I left and did all my stretches, and there were a couple of funny things that happened while I was there. I had to find a piece of paper that a new friend of mine wanted for the Washington Post. So I got that for them and sent that to her, and that was taken care of. And I did that sitting there. And the lady I was talking to, I mean, she's very helpful, one of the patient advocates there at the VA. I won't mention her name. Probably wouldn't be appropriate to do so, but really sweet person. She's been doing it for like 30 years, working at the VA for 30 years. So she's there, and we're in our office together, talking about all of this, talking about the paperwork that I needed to forward to my friend Casey. And it's like a person showed up in a motorcycle kind of attire, a leather or jacket or some kind of jacket like that, and boots and everything. And he just wanted to drop in and say, "I wanted to tell you that the nurses here are absolutely fantastic." And so he just wanted to give them a praise report. And the thing that struck me, though, was he had underneath his jacket, I could see a T-shirt. And there was an image of a blonde-headed Trump sitting right there with a margarita in his hand and on a beach chair. And it said, "The Gulf of America" on the front of it. And he's right beside me, like 2 feet right beside me. So I'm looking at it, and he just goes ahead and opens up and shows me. I said, "Yeah, that's pretty cool. The only thing missing is you don't have one of those margaritas in your hand." And we chatted. He had been in intelligence stuff like that when he was in the Army, I think. And, likewise, when I was in the Navy and those kind of things. So we actually had a good conversation, had a decent conversation. And obviously, I use all of this. He knows exactly who he's dealing with, and I said, "Look, I know you're getting ready to leave and all that, but I just wanted to say thank you from one of Appalachia's trans terrorist leaders." And he goes, "I'm just into live and let live," kind of stuff. And I said, "We need more people like that." I mean, it was good. It was a good conversation. And then on the way out, ran into somebody else who said something that was really cool and interesting. And then I went live. And then I went over to South Point, Ohio, across the Ohio River. The Ohio River is just beautiful. I love the water, obviously. I had a lot of fun with that. And going over to South Point, I'd never been in South Point, Ohio before, even though I grew up in this region, but I'd never been there. And well, McDonald's was nice. So I had a sandwich. And then, so then I head back here and come back. So it's been a long day. I made sure that Mom got her supper. My sister got her supper. Brother's got his stuff taken care of in there. He's got some supper there too. And so it's been a good day. Had to deal with a few things that my friend from Walpo needed, the Washington Post needed, kind of vetting me as as a writer, or I'm not sure how they're going to put all this stuff together. I don't know. I don't know what they're doing with all of it, but yeah. So I had to do all of that and answer a bunch of their questions and things just to make sure that I'm not one of these violent people out there, because they have to do a background check on you because they don't want to get stuck. And I get that. They don't want to be caught off guard by something. So it's wise for them to actually do this kind of background vetting of people who are contributors to their paper. They don't want to get surprised. They don't want to be lured. They don't want to be maced, anything like that. So they're checking, which is fine, because I'm definitely one of those trans terrorists who's really violent. Like, no, I'm not. That's satire completely. So anyway, I've had a good day. I am tired. I'm worn out. I'd almost fell asleep a number of times on the road. And it's just like, really? Oh my gosh. Get some rest, Cassandra. Get some rest. Somewhere along the line. So anyway, I don't have a whole lot more I want to talk about right now, because I do need to go check on them again and make sure they got everything they've taken care of. I'm waiting to hear what's going on with everything. I had to take some pictures. I had to take some pictures that they wanted. And one set of pictures has to do with my sister's room here. She's disabled and she's in a wheelchair or able to move around in that respect. But so she has all this Jesse Waters memorabilia and a photo, and a Trump hat. She wears all this stuff. She's very much into that. So it's there. So I got pictures of that. And she has an American flag over her a little bit, and also some horses over top of it as well. But what they don't see is that she's big into Scooby-Doo and any kind of crime thing. She really loves watching some crime shows, like CSV, stuff like that, or CVS, Special Victims Unit, SVU. That's the one I was looking for, SVU. So, yeah, it's been a good day otherwise. So we'll see what the results are tomorrow morning. I may send something out in terms of an email or letter, either tomorrow morning or Sunday, because I'm really just flat tired. All this stuff going on around the country really runs you down quickly. And it's a targeted attack with the entire purpose of just eliminating you from the whole of society. There are people over there on X who come right out and say that they can't wait to see all the trans people gone from the public square. And they are the larger voices right now. And this one person has said that pointedly, just said, I want trans people gone from civil society. Yeah. You got Joel Weibon, who says similar things, but he's polite about it. Kind of. He does have a mean streak. He does call himself a Christian nationalist. And I don't see how you can put those two things together, because you can't do it rationally. But then again, it's not rational, is it? And you got Matt Walsh, who's saying the same kind of stuff over there. Round them all up. Lock them away. The violence is coming from them. There's 1,000% increase in violence, but from trans people over the last several months. You know what it is? You know how you get to 1,000% increase? If you know anything about statistics, that's my degree. And you know that you can get to 1,000% with any set of numbers that you start off with. So if you say that you have 1,000% increase, and it went from, and basically the thing you aren't saying is that it went from 4 to 20, or 4 to 50, or 4 to 20, or something like that. It went up that fast, and that's what's happening. But that's still insignificant. It's not a significant number in terms of statistics, but it doesn't matter. It does not matter, does it? It's whoever they're claiming to be the poster child of all the evil that they're going after. So that's basically what it all amounts to. So with that, y'all have a great evening. I'm shutting this down for right now. You can reach out to me. Send me an email right here. There's an email you can send all this to. It's admin@cassandra-llc.com. This is a for-profit limited liability corporation that operates in the state of Kentucky. So, yeah, go there.